It's time to take a sledgehammer to the mainstream media's lies and propaganda. The corporate media establishment flat out lies to people, and no one is holding them accountable. They exploit misinformation. They use it to manipulate the masses. It's right out of a communist playbook. I know this because I used to work for the mainstream media.
A former longtime TV news anchor wants to be Arizona's next governor. Kari Lake, who retired last year from Fox 10 News after more than 2 decades, is now raising money to run for Republican nomination.
Did you see this online? It went mega viral. That is Kari Lake. Right now, she's running for governor of Arizona. She's a Republican, former newscaster. And boy, did she own that reporter who tried one of their little fake news tricks. Did you anticipate that, they were going to try to undermine you in some way?
Well, because I worked in the media for 30 years, 27 years covering Arizona, I know how they operate. I know all the tricks. And so I don't go into any interview without having it shot by a camera that I'm in control of and with the audio recorded, because they will play tricks.
Do you think Joe Biden is the current president?
Well, he's obviously sitting in the White House. Do you think he's the president?
I'm asking you, but I'm just wondering, do you think that if the 2020 election was stolen, is Joe Biden the president?
Do you think the election was stolen?
I have no comment.
Do you think that Joe Biden garnered 81 million votes? Do you think the elections were fair? The problem is that the American people don't have all the answers because the media is part of the problem. Media's not reporting it. Media's never reported our forensic audit fairly. They're not reporting what's happening in Georgia. They're not reporting on these ballot traffickers that are being paid to drop off ballots. Media is doing a huge disservice to this country. ABC News, CNN, MSNBC spent more than 3 years lying to the American people, saying that Russia colluded with Donald J. Trump to steal an election in 2016.
Even the ongoing Russia investigation doesn't seem to bother Trump. The president assured the reporter 16 times in a 30-minute interview that there was no collusion between his campaign and the Russians.
They knew they were peddling lies, and they did nothing to stop it. It was a complete hoax, and it was a lie. And now they're doing the opposite. We have evidence of corruption in our election, and they refuse to cover it. They refuse to be honest with the people of this country. It is disgusting what the media has done. And I think their days are numbered when it comes to surviving all of this. The business, when you're lying to the people and you're in media, that's a bad business model. They want to try to make any Trump Republican, and of course I'm the Trump endorsed candidate, the leading candidate in Arizona, and they're afraid of me. They want to make us look like we're conspiracy theorists. And the fact of the matter is, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, and the mainstream media are the conspiracy theorists. And we've seen that proven time and time again for years, and especially during COVID. Everything they said was true has proved to be wrong. Everything the so-called conspiracy theorists have said has proved to be true. So we're tired of the mainstream media. They're done. And they've been lying to the American people, and everybody's onto it. Fear.
This is our introduction to Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake, a Donald Trump endorsed Republican candidate for 2022. Rising star of the right wing and proud spreader of lies about the 2020 election results.
You could say Biden won the presidency kind of like OJ's innocence. It's the same kind of...
You're amazing.
Lake is among a group of 2022 Arizona candidates putting election falsehoods at the heart of their candidacy, as she agreed to speak with CNN.
Are you going to win?
I believe we will, yeah.
A cornerstone of Lake's campaign, baseless fraud claims raised by the Republican-led sham review of Maricopa County's 2020 presidential election.
The system is corrupt. Have you not followed what's happening in our election here?
Absolutely. I covered the audit.
Relentlessly repeating misinformation.
Do you think that it was the right thing to do to delete a bunch of million files the day before the audit?
That was roundly debunked.
No.
Not by the press, but by the Maricopa County Recorder's Office.
Well, you're buying into everything they say. These are the same people who did not want this forensic audit. I know what you guys are trying to do. You don't give a damn about our elections. You've got a narrative, and you're trying to push it.
And what is that narrative?
The narrative is everything, it's frauded, it's fake. I will be damned if when I'm governor, we're going to have another election run this way.
Wow. You've spent a lot of time in Arizona recently. Do you get the sense that voters buy into the big lie as much as these candidates do?
This is hurting the Republican Party's future here in the state of Arizona, because instead of talking about the policies of the Republican Party that can draw more voters in, what they're talking about are lies and conspiracies.
You know, you've said that you think Trump won Arizona in 2020. Do you still believe that?
Because instead of talking about the policies of the Republican Party, what they're talking about are lies and conspiracies.
You know, you've said that you think Trump won Arizona in 2020. Do you still believe that?
What they're talking about are lies and conspiracies.
You know, you've said that you think Trump won Arizona in 2020. Do you still believe that?
I believe Biden is the president just like OJ is innocent. The system is corrupt. Have you not followed what's happening in our election here?
Absolutely. I covered the audit.
34,000 votes counted twice. Canvassers went to a dirt lot where 75 people were registered to
That's
vote.
a Liz Harris report. That was debunked.
Well, you say it was debunked because everything that you guys don't agree with, you debunk. You fact check. And I know where your fact checkers come from. A lot of times the fact checkers...
There are addresses at that dirt lot you're talking about.
No.
So what I want to know is, where's the proof that you're going to point to?
If you don't have the ability to critically sit down and listen to our forensic audit results, then I can't help you.
It
But you
showed
guys
that
went
Trump
into that
lost by even more.
if you count fraudulent votes. We've got a problem with our election. They're pouring in mail-in ballots. Trump was winning big in Pima County. And when they realize that, they start pouring in more ballots, more mail-in ballots. We have a problem. We've got we have mail-in ballots coming in with no signatures. Our system is broken, and we're seeing all kinds of problems. And the mail-in ballots were sent out. We had our election officials who were rewriting election rules, usurping the legislature. The legislature in Arizona writes our election laws, not the people working at the county recorder's office. And we don't care what the media says. The media is full of it, and we know it. I know it. I worked in the media, excuse me. I worked in the media. I know what you guys are trying to do. You don't give a damn about our elections. You've got a narrative, and you're trying to push it.
And what is
And
that
we
narrative?
want the narrative is everything. It's frauded. It's fake. People witness things. They witnessed things during this election, and they knew it was wrong. And all they want is to make sure that our vote is fair, that it's fair and square. But I'm not going to sit here and argue with you because I know you're going to twist it around. I know how these things work, and I know what the final product is. And I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. If you would like to look through the forensic audit report, I'm happy to share that with you. And there's more information to come out. We haven't yet gotten the analysis of the paper ballots and of the routers. But do you think that it was the right thing to do to delete a bunch of million files the day before the audit?
That was roundly debunked.
No.
Not by the press, but by the Maricopa County Recorder's Office.
Well, you're buying into everything they say. These are the same people who did not want this forensic audit. These are the same people who did not want it. This was a shady, shoddy, corrupt election. And everyone knows it. The left knows it, the right knows it, but the left is trying to make us live with this, and we're not going to live with it. We're going to get to the bottom of it. And while we may not be able to do a whole lot about this, I will be damned if when I'm governor, we're going to have another election run this way. It's wrong. We want one vote per legal voter, and we want it counted. We're not going to have a bunch of mail-in ballots floating around, sitting on top of mailboxes for any Tom, Dick, and Harry to sign and send in. It's bullcrap, and we want our country back, and we want our election back.
I got to say, just watching Kim La talk to some of the candidates in Arizona was super depressing. I just want to play one thing that one of them said.
The system is corrupt. Have you not followed what's happening in our election here?
Absolutely. I covered the audit.
Do you think that it was the right thing to do to delete a bunch of million files the day before the audit?
That was roundly debunked.
No.
Not by the press,
but by the Maricopa County Recorder's Office.
Well, you're buying into everything they say. These are the same people who did not want this forensic audit. I know what you guys are trying to do. You don't give a damn about our elections. You've got a narrative, and you're trying to push it.
I mean, first of all, she was allegedly an anchor or newscaster or something, which I don't know how to even wrap my mind around that.
This is what's wrong with our media.
Okay, perfect.
You guys are pushing a narrative. You know that Joe Biden didn't win by 81 million votes.
I do know who won.
By 81 million votes, you really need to put down the crack pipe, Hunter's crack pipe. You really believe Joe Biden won by 81 million votes?
There is no proof behind most of the stuff you've tweeted about the election.
Yes, there is. You're not opening your eyes because it's a fraud. It's not an audit. Everything, I can't understand you with that mask on. If you want to have a conversation without the mask on, I'm happy to, but I seriously can't hear you.
Y'all missing what was written in them pages. That was history they wrote, now you wanna change it. You racist, you hate this. Why you want us all to be locked up in cages? I can't stand the left, everything they say's depressing. Ship them to the Middle East, they can learn oppression. Believe me, I mean this quite literal. I love liberty, but I hate white liberals. Wear a mask, stay home, complain and moan. Talk about privilege on your phone in your Range Rover, Starbucks, mango, foo-foo, whatever. The cloth I'm cut from can handle any weather. You just paper in the rain, we ain't the same. Stand for the flag, only kneel when I pray. I just pray we go back to the old days, land of the free, home of the brave.